Welcome to the Jeremy Hill live stream. I had technical difficulties last Sunday, so I couldn't get this subject out, but this subject is going to be dedicated to Black mothers. This is not a show of hatred, but I'm going to be honest and hardcore and raw with all of you. A lot of you women who celebrated Mother's Day, last Mother's Day, did not deserve to hear the words Happy Mother's Day because a lot of you are piss poor mothers. A lot of you don't deserve to be honored as a mother. A lot of you are toxic. A lot of you mothers leave children, boys and girls, permanently scarred for life because of how you treat them, because how you raise them, because of how you put men or women, if you're lesbian or if you're bisexual, you put people over your own children. So I wrote a list. Now, if you see this video right here, at the end of this monologue I'm going to do, I'm going to let you see just how scandalous some of these women are. But first, let me go ahead and read 10 things to let you know if you are dealing with a toxic, terrible, horrible, nasty, funky, no good for nothing woman who calls herself a mother when she's everything but that. Number one, if your kids know how many men you done fucked in the last year, you are not a good mother. If your son or your daughter can say, well, 2 months ago, Mama was messing with Pookie. Then 3 months after that, she was messing with Ray Ray. 2 months after that, she was messing with John John. If they have an idea of how many men you done brought from the club to your house, you are a piss poor mother. And you don't deserve the title of a mother. That's number one. Number two, if you're over 30 years old and still date drug dealers, gangbangers, thugs, repeat offenders, probationers, and parolees, you are not a good mother. You are well past the age of understanding. You should already know. Now, gentlemen, if you can hear me, let me know, because I'm using this microphone. I don't know if it's really picking it up or not, but let me know. Leave something in the comment. Put a 1 if you can hear me talk, okay? If you're still bringing around the wrong type of people around your children, like the ones I just mentioned, they're going to influence your children. They're going to give them piss poor examples. And the daughter that you may have, or you can hear me, thank you, DW, and the daughter that you may have is going to be a hoe like you. When she see mama bring in all these random men, she going to follow your example. And what's so sorry and pathetic about some of you women is that some of these men that you don't vet, you just know you want some good wood, some good jug up in you. These men will touch your daughter. Some of these men you bring into your house are sexual perverts. They may molest your boy too. Now, the third way you know if you're a toxic mother, if you go to church on Sunday, but through the week, you're a pill popping, cocaine sniffing, club hopping, street running, drunken whore. Because you're showing and teaching your children that there's no value in being authentic or genuine or true. You can't be happy one day in the church and then run the street like a damn devil the rest of the time. These mothers, particular, in my humble opinion, it's the black women in my black community, have no clue or have no idea of what motherhood is. The fourth way you know if you're not a good mother, if you're still getting STDs. There are still women that are 20, 30, 40, 50 years old, still contracting herpes, syphilis, AIDS, HIV, having sex without protection, getting pregnant again, having to go get an abortion or whatever. How many miscarriages are you having in your home from different men? You are not a good mother. See, I want to destroy this whole idea that every woman that has a child is a good mother. You should never tell a woman, unless you know they're a good mother, Happy Mother's Day. And I stand on that. The fifth one, the fifth way to know that you're still not a good mother is if you're having sex with your son's friends. If you're having sex with your daughter's friends. And yes, this happens more than you think. The boy go to work. He may work at McDonald's. I don't know where he at, but the mama will still sleep with that boy's friends. Still, and if she's secretly on the down low, she'll still mess with her daughter's bisexual or lesbian girlfriends. It happens. It happens more than you think. All right, the sixth way to know if you're dealing with a toxic, horrible mother is if you have sex with your stepson or stepdaughter because you're openly bisexual, lesbian, or on the down low. I know I'm going hard. I know I'm going raw, but these things happen, okay? You could turn on Pornhub, to be honest with you, and you'll find dudes and mothers saying, I had sex with my daughter's friend. It's the truth. If you live that type of lifestyle and you are trying to take your daughter's boyfriend, take your son's girlfriend, you ain't nothing. The seventh way to know if you're a no good for nothing mother is if you're still running the streets, always outside, YOLO. Your ass need to be at home. You got kids at home that probably are misbehaving. Probably got a problematic child or problematic children who gets in trouble at school all the time. And you're out in the streets trying to be a whore, trying to pop pills, trying to have fun. Here it is, you middle-aged. What kind of example are you showing these children? Huh? You out there running the streets. What for? You the one, you don't, some of you women are the ones who always say, I deserve a Gucci bag. I deserve a Fendi bag. No, what you deserve is a grocery bag so you can go buy some food and cook for them badass kids you got at home. That's what you deserve. That's what you deserve. The eighth way to know if you are dealing with a toxic mother. And all you gentlemen who is talking on there, I'm reading this, but let me go ahead and shout some of you out right now. I'm gonna put y'all stuff on here too. DW, the Codified Network, Willis Martin, KB Jones. How y'all? Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna try to do this while I'm talking to y'all at the same time. All right. Okay. The eighth way to know if you're a toxic mother is if your child's teacher corrects your child bad behavior and you aggressively confront the teacher instead of correcting your child's behavior. You are a horrible, horrible mother. Them teachers deal with enough as it is already. You got children in America who are whipping the teachers' asses, who are openly, publicly disrespecting the teachers in school. This is why a lot of these teachers are quitting. Now, I'm not talking about the bad apples of the group, the teachers that's smoking weed with your child, having sex with your child. I'm talking about women and men who really care about the children enough to get into that profession that doesn't pay anything. They don't make shit. They don't make no real money. And then they can't teach your children because you're not teaching them anything at home. And when your child misbehaves and they correct your child, even inform you of the child misbehavior, you want to go jump the teacher's ass. And then some of you mothers can't. Now, when I grew up, you didn't have to have a dress code to pick up your child. Now these women are so harsh. They have dress in Houston anyway. They have dress codes for women when they come pick up their child, because most of the women will come up to the schools half naked and see-through lingerie with a hair bunny on their head. I mean, you can see the nipples, you can see the piercing, you can actually see through and see thongs and stuff. They going to middle school to pick up these children. They going to high school, going in the school, looking like a hooker and a prostitute. And you don't see nothing wrong with that. YOLO. If you don't get that shit out of here. All right, the ninth way to know if you're a bad mother is this. Get ready for this one. If you steal, sell drugs, or child protective services, stay in your business, and you can't keep gainful employment and try to look sexy on social media, you are not a good mother. Those are signs of immaturity. Not everybody who has a kid is actually a mother. You understand what I'm saying? Now the 10th, there it is. The 10th way to know if you're a bad mother is if you put down or cuss out your children. I mean, you cuss them out like a stranger in the street. Sometimes you can go to any store in the hood, in the neighborhood, and you'll find a black mother talking to a black child very, very harshly. You little mother blanker, Shut the F up. I ain't got time for this F shit. Get the hell out of here with that. Talking to a 10-year-old or 8-year-old child like that. And yes, this does happen. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen this behavior before. It ain't just me. And then you put them down, you cuss them out. Every time one of these children want to be something, you discourage them because you ain't shit. Because you're struggling. Misery loves company. And then if your child really want to try, who is it? Okay. Sugarland. I'll tell you in a minute. Also, before I go any further, any one of y'all who want to join this live stream, you see to email me at jeremyhillshow1@gmail.com. You have to send me an email. Once I go into that email, I can send you a link, and then you can join, and you have to be visible. I'm not doing any more of this where you just hear voices and shit. You got to be on the screen so we can look at you and we can look at, you know. But anyway, where was I? Now I'm gonna play this video for y'all. I'm gonna show you just how evil and corrupt some of these women are. Let me see if I got an email. Okay, I did. 1 second. Cap, I'm gonna send you a link so you can join the show. 1 second, brother. Let me do this right now before I get out of here. Let's see, that's the wrong one. Invite. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me send this to this brother right here. There's Cap right there. Reply. Paste. Send. Let's get back to this. Okay, I just sent it to you, Cap. Now let me go ahead and show y'all this video so y'all can see just how conniving and how evil some of these women are that you say, Happy Mother's Day. Here's some flowers. Here's some candy. Here's some wine. Here we go.
You spent 5 years in prison for failing to pay child support for the defendant, Ms. Sears' son, Dylan. Mr. Manser, you are not his father.
Oh, man. 5 years in prison.
Do you know?
Yes,
You know who his father is.
yes, I talked to him still.
Okay. Now, y'all saw all of that, right? This man spent 5 years in prison. 5 years in prison for not paying child support. He comes out of prison to only find out that he is not the father of the child that he went to prison for 5 years. Why not give him 10 years? Why not give him 20 years? See, these women don't give a fuck, man. You need to always, always, always get a blood test. I don't care how much you love this woman, because women slip. Or do you want to go to prison for 5, 6, 10 years or whatever it may be, paying on a child that's not yours, man? Do you understand what I'm saying? And then you see at the end of the video, the woman said she knew who the father really was. She said she still talked to him. So all the time that man was suffering behind bars, she was still talking to that man, and she was still sucking on him, still letting him teabag her, eating his booty and everything else while he's in prison. He was the sucker. But I'm sure someone told her last weekend, was it? Happy Mother's Day. You don't know who these women are. I got one more video for you. I want you to see how whorish these mothers are.
Show you, then show what you created.
Okay, that's gonna be all the videos. I didn't want to put a whole bunch on there, but I wanted y'all to see that. Did y'all see how the woman? That's the mother. That's the mother. You get what I'm saying? She dressing like a whore, like a prostitute, a hooker, and a stripper, and then she show her children. They all see mama dressed like a whore. This is not how it's supposed to be. Hey, Cap, go ahead and join the live stream, brother. I'm trying to see if on my thing, if he received it. Cap, go ahead. Go ahead so I can put you onto the live stream. Guess he stepped away for a little bit. I can keep going on what I'm saying. Anyway, motherhood used to be something that was sacred. Motherhood used to be something that was precious. It was an honor to be called a mother. But things have gotten so backwards now and so twisted now. We don't welcome mothers. We welcome baby mama culture. We want to be baby mamas. That's what the women want. They want to be baby mamas. They don't want to be mothers. They don't want to be wives. They want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage. They want the title, but they don't want the motherhood. There's nothing cool about being an unwed mama. There's nothing cool with having multiple children by multiple men. There ain't nothing cool with that. I'm waiting on Mr. Cap. He said you want to join. Any one of y'all want to join, you got to go to the email address too, like he did. I think I sent it to him. Let me double check. Yeah, I did send it to you. Which part of Houston? Who is this? All right. I can't say your name right. Oki Ado, how you say it? No disrespect. I don't know how to really pronounce that. But I'm by Sugar Land myself. I'm on the outskirts of Houston. I lived in Houston for maybe 12 something years. And then I had my house built out here around Sugar Land in Richmond, Texas. Okay, Cap. He said he's gonna be joining pretty soon. Yeah, so I'm over here right now. So I kept the monologue kind of short because I missed last Sunday because I have a problem with my DSLR. It's not communicating with my laptop. So I chose to use the webcam, and I got this old school mic I had before. And that's the reason why I think it looked kind of a little blurry a little bit. So I kept it short in case people wanted to talk that I missed, you know what I mean? Yeah, KB Jones, being a baby mama is a badge of honor. Y'all see this? He's absolutely right. Being a baby mama is something that is encouraged. You don't need no man and all this other crazy stuff. All you want to be is a baby making machine. All these women want to do is have one ankle pointed left, the other pointed right, and have a man just dive in the middle of that and skeet all up in her and have all these bastard children. Now, that's another thing. Them children that come out of you that you didn't have during a marriage and you wasn't wedded to a man, those children is not my little man, my little princess, my little king. Those children are bastards. And for some reason, we done gotten to the point where we don't want to shame this behavior no more. Those are bastard children. And a lot of times, the fathers don't even want to deal with these bastard children. And you wonder why you're getting your heart broke on the dating scene, because when a man come up and really may be genuinely interested in you, but if he has a lot to lose and he see another man's child with you, he's just going to hit that and get out of there. And you can't blame him for wanting to have his own child. Let me check my email again. I have to keep looking at this, man, because sometimes I have people that just hit me out of nowhere and I don't know they're doing it. Yep. Put this up here. I'm just waiting for Mr. Cap to say to get situated. Or anyone else. Yeah, that's who's gonna be joining the show. Cap Social Network. Y'all should go check out his little channel. He's doing support the brother. I might need to start making my monologues a little longer then. Any one of y'all got any questions about let me ask y'all a question. Do you think there's hope for the modern day black woman right now? Do y'all believe so? Or do you think it's just really just confined to the West, to America? I'm looking at the comments. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. I really should have made the monologue a little bit longer. Let's see, here's Willis Martin. In the 90% of my friends had a father at home. Yeah, I believe that. Times have changed so much, man, that what's right is wrong and what's wrong is right. Everybody's about physical pleasure. It's drinking, smoking, fucking. It's a lack of wanting to be accountable and responsible. You know what I mean? So this channel exists to hold their feet to the fire, so to speak. I don't bash black women. And a lot of people get on there and say, you need to start talking about other different. I don't need to talk about shit. All right. I'll talk about my community because I am a part of that community. I'm not caring about everybody else's community. I mean, I want everybody to have peace and we all get along, but we really got to address the issue that's going on in our community. We can't have this forever. I wish we could go back to like the gentleman said in the 60s where we had 2-parent household. Let's see. And Lisa said it's over for them. Oh yeah, I heard about the MGT. I spoke about them before. They actually teach young women to Muslim. I'm not a Muslim, but they teach the women how to behave like women, how to cater to men, how to cook, clean. Womanhood is actually a skill set. And a lot of women don't know how to be a woman because no one ever taught them. You can't just go out there and say, hey, I got coochie, I'm a woman. No, there's a behavior and there's a duty to come with that. Tai Chi said it's over for Western. Man. I can't really go against that, man, because the way it looks hopeless out there, man. Okay, here come Cap, y'all. I'm gonna put him on there for y'all. Well, there you go. Yo. Oh.
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'll try to remove this thing right there. Oh shit, I can't. Y'all see the room because my shit fucked up right now because the camera won't let me adjust it. So that's a webcam. So you see the room ain't completely done. Oh, that's embarrassing. But anyway, what's going on with y'all? What's going on, brother?
Oh, not much. I just wanted to let you know I agree 100% about all that you just mentioned about how most Black mothers don't deserve to be called mothers or acknowledged as mothers. And let me know if it's too much lighting. Is it too much lighting or?
No, you good, bro. I can see you.
Okay. Anyway, how about the women that may have, for instance, 2 kids by 2 different dudes, only to have those 2 different baby daddies on child support, and while doing so, having a new boyfriend in the process. And to make matters even worse, may happen to show off that new boyfriend on social media, right? And along with that, tag the 2 baby daddies to make the baby daddies envious. Especially that guy, the new boyfriend may be a six-figure guy, a very successful and 6-figure guy.
But that sounds like a woman that does have a hypergamous nature right there. She always trying to get the next best thing, it sounds like to me. You know what I mean? But a lot of the women are manipulators, man. That's what they all about themselves. They're all self-centered now. They don't care about who it hurts. They don't care about any of that stuff, man. They just want to come up. That's what I think about what you just said.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, because I thought about the mothers who may have kids in school and may happen to have talks with the kids' teachers only to go up to the schools dressed all skimpy and provocative. Like you said, it should be, I personally also think, Jeremy, that it should be a dress code on behalf of parents going up to schools to have talks with teachers.
Well, they have that in Houston right now. Because that was actually a bad thing. Let me read what this say. End up in that situation again. Yeah, basically, there was a lot of women coming there looking like they coming out the stripper pole in different schools, like I said, middle school, high school. You know, they were just coming in there butt naked. And a lot of the women got insecure, and a lot of the men was horny, or whatever you want to call that. But they had to put a dress code in there. You couldn't just come pick up your kid anymore. This is how loose the Black women have gotten now. They just show up like they just roll out of bed. I mean, it was so bad they had a long, like what they had it on the news. This woman was wearing a see-through thing, and you could see her breast, and the breast was kind of the bra was kind of see-through. You could see the nipples and everything like that, and you could see all to her thong and stuff like that. You could actually see, like she was wearing nothing. She was dressed like how Russell Wilson, Sierra wife, was dressed at the red carpet, where you kind of
man.
Yeah, that's how she was. She was like that. They had on the news out here about a few years back, and that's how they put a code in that you can't come here unless you dress up on a certain type of way to pick up your child, even to come on the campus. That's how it's got to be now, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I were a kid with a mother of that nature, I would be embarrassed. I really would. To have my mama come up to school and think about how many male teachers, with the exception of a few, by there being more female teachers than male teachers. But imagine there being some, or even coaches, principals at the school that most likely are very likely to hit on that kid's mom.
Oh yeah. I mean, that happens all the time, man. That happened before they started dressing like that, man. Because I know some teachers, some gym coaches that were banging some students' mama. It just is what it is. These women are more loose now than they ever was before, and it's a sad thing. But go back to what you're saying about that I would be ashamed. The women should be ashamed. Women,
Yeah, if I had a mama to come, if I was a kid in school and the teacher wanted to have a talk with my mama, only for my mama to schedule to come up to the school to have a one-on-one talk with my teacher, and it just so happened my mama was to come up to school dressed all provocative, and to the point where she would be dressed half naked.
That's what I'm saying. Women today, they don't have what is called old school word was shamefacedness. They don't have no shame.
Right.
You heard what one of the worst things you can say in the black community is there ain't no shame in my game because people take it all the way. They don't have shame, man. You can't embarrass these women. We can try. You can't embarrass these women. They have no shame. You can only be embarrassed if you feel shame. You know what I mean? Nothing embarrasses them no more. So they go anywhere almost. You can go to Walmart. It don't even have to be that. I done been to Walmart. I've seen some nice thick women, ass cheeks just dragging on the floor. I mean, just all out. I mean, just everywhere. You know what I mean? At Walmart. I've seen that. And I'm sure many of y'all seen that too. And it's really our community. I don't see the white folks doing this shit. I don't see Mexican. I mean, unless they have been what I call black. I mean, they're immersed in black culture, immersed in hip hop, immersed in things like that of that nature. Then you may see that behavior. But those who are not immersed in that, they don't tend to dress like that. They don't tend to look like that or behave like that. It's mostly, in my opinion, in our community where we see women dress like that and act like that and don't give a shit. I seen mostly our women wear what they call hair bonnets. I know other people do it, but I don't see it as much as black people do it. And I'm not always just around black people. I'm around a multicultural type of community. And I see mostly us doing this. Us. So when I make these videos and I have these little morons coming and say, you can't just say just black women. I'm not, man, shut the hell up, man. I'm doing this on purpose. We need to address the problems that we have in our community. We need to.
Right.
And so
we do. I agree. And let's not forget the mothers, about how you said earlier how some mothers may be trifling enough to have sex with their son's friends. Let's not forget the mothers that may bring all kinds of people, friends of hers, and what they may be guy friends or female friends, who may also be a bad influence with the kids. For instance, they may the whole while her friends are around and her children could be in our same household as well. Her children could spot them getting high or drinking alcohol. Not only that, using excessive language, even engaging in sex acts with one another while right in the midst of the kids.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can speak about my experiences. I remember when I was in the streets a little bit, man, going to a girl house, right? She had teenage sons, 2 of them. And like, it's obvious that I'm there to beat their mama back out, basically, right? Because I'm going in there to the bedroom. They're in there on the game, you know what I mean? I'm there smacking ass and shit. I mean, I'm doing everything, you know, I'm beating it up. And then I stay at night. I get up, they in the room watching TV again in the morning time, and they know what I was in there doing. They know I'm in there beating mama down and shit like that. So it makes me think, how many more men have been in here? Because they were so comfortable with the idea, you get what I'm saying, of a random man coming in and beating up mama coochie and not saying nothing. So to
the point where it was normalized to the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's sad.
Exactly, man.
But that's what plenty of kids, Mr. Hill, nowadays have to look forward to, especially kids when single mothers that are very promiscuous. Well, not single mothers, but kids with moms that may not have husbands or may never ever have been married, and yet and still they go hopping from man to man, engaging in sexual acts with every single man they bring to the home, right while their kids may be in the home.
Right. Hold on 1 second, Cap. 1 second, Derek. I'm sorry, Derek.
Okay.
Mr. Bill, I'm going to send you a link. I just seen your email. I don't know what your Pacific time is. Like I said before, I'm Central Standard Time. I don't know what Pacific time is. But right now we're on. I'm going to go to my email address and I'm going to send you an invite and you could join the conversation with me and Mr. Derek right here. 1 second, Derek, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bill Scherer. I just sent you the link, man. All you gotta do is click that link that I've just sent you. Once you click that link, you'll come through to me and I can add you to the screen, sir. All right, go ahead, Mr. Derek. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Okay. And I wanted to touch on this. Okay, by how you said before, you have dated women of various races during your military days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, judging from your perspective and personal experiences being with women of other races, when it comes to having kids as single mothers, would you say Black women overall are the worst group of mothers compared to all the other groups or races of women with kids that are single?
As it stands now, and only based on my experience and stuff, from what I've seen, they're more traditional when it comes to motherhood. Even as wives, they're more traditional. And those women that I've seen, I mean, I've been in Australia and all these other different places like that.
Mm-hmm.
They actually cared about the image of a mother. There's certain things they wouldn't do in front of their child. Like even in America, when I was a kid, if my mama and my daddy are separated or divorced or whatever, if she was dating other men, I wouldn't know nothing about it. Back then,
Right.
Women wouldn't let you see the other men that you're messing with. You wouldn't even know they existed.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now women don't care. They don't care if that affects the child, man.
It does.
To them. They may not even realize what they're doing. Even the kid don't realize what happened to them. But if you get used to seeing mama laid up with random different men, that's going to take a toll on you, man. And you won't get that out your head for life. And like I said earlier, some of these men that these women bring around their children, they molest their children. I know some girls that told me some stories about mama boyfriends would try to touch them and finger them and do all kind of crazy stuff like that. And then mama took up for the boyfriend. Wouldn't try to help the daughter because she was so in love with the boyfriend. You must be leading him on. You're lying. You know how that would damage a child? And they can't function in relationships right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And when that being said, that's why one reason why so many young girls as young as middle school, during their middle school, the high school years are becoming more and more promiscuous too, are developing more than ever. Because when you have young women that are that young, that may be as young as 13, 14 years old, they look as old as the average 20 or 21-year-old female.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. The girls now look nothing like the girls did when I was growing up. It's like they like grown, even the boys like grown ass men at 13. I'm talking about with a full beard and everything now. So I don't know, man. I just know that that's when your moral compass is supposed to come in, because I don't care how old these girls look. If you have a conversation with a girl that's 14 years old, even though she's 25, you're going to be able to tell that's a young, immature woman. So a lot of men use that in an excuse where she looked like she was 25. I'm gonna tell you something. If you talk to this girl and she's still talking about Hello Kitty and shit like that, that should let you know that's a child.
Right.
You know what I mean? So some people, they try to lie to justify what they're doing is wrong. You know, they're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
It's just immorality.
Yeah.
Immorality.
Yeah, but I mean, we living in a messed up world, Mr. Hill.
Yes, sir.
Very messed up world. When backwards priorities, especially when it comes to the African American race.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm listening to you, man. I'm hitting all these different buttons at the same time, but I agree with you. We are backwards now. But let me ask you something, Derek. Out of your experience, man, what do you think we have to do to change that? Do you think there's a way to change that?
I think so. I personally think so. We would just have to first and foremost is the entire African American race stop being so divided amongst each other, so against each other. Just be able to For instance, whenever it may be community meetings in your neighborhood, local neighborhood or community meetings for all the people in mostly black neighborhoods to be able to be on one accord, be able to discuss issues that needs to be addressed in their communities. That is one big factor. How we need to realize that we are one. Out of all the bickering we always doing one another, all the black on black crimes you hear about on a regular and daily basis, if we were to be able to come to reality and realize how we're all one and how we all need one another. Also, whether we know it or not, we're doing, like other people have said before. I have heard other black people say, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, we're doing the KKK a big favor now too, for how we're killing one another.
I'll say
whether
right
we
now,
know it or not.
I agree with you. I would say right now, and this is going to be pretty, some people ain't going to like this. I would say that black folks have become the new KKK in some ways. Because to go along with what you said, we are doing the work of the KKK. We are
Right.
we are doing that. And I'm going to tell you something I was watching in it earlier, and it made sense to me. Do you realize they're not telling, and this is everybody who's white out there, this is not being racist. I want you to know I'm not a racist man, but I'm going to say what I'm about to say. Do y'all realize all this thing about women being told to be a independent woman, to be a boss chick, you don't need a man? You know they're telling the black community that. They're not telling the white people that. You don't see white women running around here talking about I don't need no man. You don't see white women talking about all this other stuff, you know what I mean? Like be independent. These white women, even if they are feminists, they still go home to their husbands. They still go home to their families. And they come out and talk a good game, but they go right back to being submissive to their husbands. Black women, they say I don't need no man and actually mean that until they get older. And then they realize they need a man, but then it's too late because no one wants them. Or they may have a whole bunch of children. No,
and how about this? In the worst case scenario, have to end up out of all that talk they may have done during their younger years. Once they get old enough to not be able to do for themselves, and they end up in assisted living facilities or retirement facilities, then that's when they really come to the realization that maybe they should have had them a man, a husband for the most part during their much more younger years or their prime.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think a lot of times women live in the now. They're not thinking about the future. Whatever feels good now is what they're into. They don't think about consequences. All this boss, I mean, there's nothing wrong with you having things. No man is saying that it's wrong for a woman to have anything. And I'm not saying that's wrong for you to be a boss on your job, to have a high supervisory position and having men underneath you or women. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying when you come into the household, all that shit get checked at the door. Because now your position changes. Now you are the subservient. You was created, for those of you who believe in God or not, women was created to serve the man as he served God. She was not ever meant to lead when it comes to anything. She was always made to serve that man and be a mother. All the provision and shit, like a man, it is a man's position to provide a house, but it's the woman's position to make it a home. And what we got right now, women are not feminine enough to make a house a home. All they can do now is make it a territory, like this is mine, like an animal. I'm territorial. This house is mine. I work for it. This is mine. But they can't make it a home. There's no warmth. There's no love. There's no patience. And what I also noticed, there's a lack of mercy in the hearts of women. They don't forgive. They hold grudges. They hold on to shit that happened 4 years ago and keep hanging it over your head. We have lost touch. Well, women have lost touch with their feminine energy. And a part of being a feminine woman is to have the ability to forgive your man for when he errs. And I'm going to say this too, before I get you on here. If your man commits adultery, forgive him. You may not like it. And like I always say, if the man committed adultery and there's children involved, you have to forgive him. Because don't wreck your home and make these children become a statistic where they live in a single parent home, all because you're hurt. Now, if you cheat on your husband, that's up on you. I ain't saying nothing about that. What I'm saying is when you get in a marriage or a relationship, you have to minimalize yourself. When you're in a relationship, you minimalize yourself because it's not all about you. It's about y'all. That's my opinion. Go ahead, brother.
I agree. I definitely agree on that. Okay, let me read this comment. There are so many things we hate about them, just as much as what they say they hate about us. That is true too.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like I always say, it comes down to a conversation, man. But people don't want to listen. People have this habit where they want to listen to respond instead of listening to understand. So as soon as I say something, you want to say something back, but you're not taking time to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. If you can't listen well enough to be what they call an active listener, then there's no way we can ever come together because you
Right.
always feel you need to be right.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is about the main topic of the show. Okay, about how most women, and judging from your personal opinion and perspective, most black women don't deserve to be called mothers. How about, okay, in the song that Tupac made, Dear Mama, and I'm sure by you being a big pop fan, you have heard that song hundreds of times.
Yes.
It's like when I put it into perspective throughout the whole entire song, for the most part, he was acknowledging or giving her props for her toxicity and dysfunction. If you listen to the song real closely.
Tupac
And
Mama was nothing more but a cocaine sniffing, crack-headed whore. And I'm just being honest with everybody out there. She was abusive to Tupac. She lied to Tupac all his life about his daddy. First, she said she didn't know who he was. Then she said he was dead. When Tupac got shot in New York the first time he got shot 5 times, a man came into that hospital and said, I'm your father. He thought this man was dead all his life. And if he could have died believing that his daddy was dead, I don't care how y'all put that woman on a pedestal. That woman was wrong as fuck. Now, Tupac was a mama boy. I love Tupac music, but he was a beta. I don't care how. See, a lot of you misconstrue and misunderstand physical aggression and loud talk and fighting as a form of manhood. That is only necessary when you're protecting yourself or your family or something of value. Okay? This woman was wrong. I don't care if you're a Black Panther or not. Just because you fight for Black people's rights don't make you a good mother or a good father. You should have fought for your son to have the right to know who your daddy was. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like after, putting that song into perspective, it's like when no matter how wrong our mothers may have done, while we were growing up as kids, or us people that are adults, and no matter how much dysfunctional toxicity our mother may have had, and we witness in our mothers as kids, even what we may witness until this same day when the same mothers as adults, our mothers will always be put on a pedestal regardless. But it's like with fathers, on the other hand, fathers, get all kinds of heat, I guess you could say. When no matter how much good they may do or how much bad they may do. And I personally feel like that's not right. It's like it's just a double standard when it comes to both toxic fathers and toxic mothers, how toxic fathers get so much shame, but toxic mothers get praise no matter how toxic they are.
Yeah. The thing is, I think we live in a patriarchy now. I'm not a patriarch, but a matriarchy. How can I say matriarchy? I keep fucking that word up. But anyway, they don't really value Black men. I'm gonna say men in general. Fathers are not valuable to this world. All we here for is to help, to build, and to be a utility to someone. They don't really respect us. They don't appreciate us. I don't know why they put the women on a pedestal. I think a lot of time it's a weaker man or a whole bunch of weak men came together and said, let's put our women on top of a pedestal because they control us. Men make the major contribution to society. So
We do.
I don't know why it's like that. I mean, it is a double standard, but it is what it is. Matriarchy.
Because, and I can give you a prime example. Think about when you went in school the whole time, when kids, you used to overhear kids do your mama jokes, and how the kid on the receiving end may have gotten all offensive and sensitive about it. But in the same breath, let that same kid that may have be on the receiving end of the your mama joke had heard a joke about their dad or got roasted by their daddy. They could be like, you can talk about my dad all you want to. I don't care. But as soon as they was to hear some kind of insult, even if the insult was just tended to be just a joke in a joking fashion, some would go as far as fighting the other kid. And even if it may have been true about their mother.
It's just how we raise, man. I don't really have an answer for that. I think that honestly, we give women too much credit. That's all I can really answer that at. But let me ask you then about one of the things I was talking about on this subject was how do you feel about middle-aged women who are still dating drug dealers, gangbangers, thugs, repeat offenders, parolees, and probationers while they have children?
I would say for the most part, it's mental illness, and a big part of it is immaturity as well.
I agree with the immaturity part. I think at a certain age you should know better. You know if you got 2 or 3 baby daddies already, the shit you been doing have not been working.
Right.
I mean, why are you still doing it? I don't get it. I don't understand.
See, one reason why I feel, just from my personal perspective, is women are that way no matter how old they get. It's because Black women, for the most part, are into guys with swag, guys that are more so alpha males, guys that are more, how could I say it, that are just have some kind of sense of street credibility.
I don't know.
That's one reason why you see may see Black guys as old as 70 or older, they're still trying to portray the image of a gangbanger, of a street hustler. Just look at how some guys you may see go to certain stores, and you may happen to see some Black guys in that age bracket that's still wearing fitted hats with stickers on the bills, right? You may see him wearing oversized shirts, t-shirts still, ripped jeans.
How can a man that's 40 years old wear skinny jeans?
Right.
I mean, I'm serious, man. What it is, what I've discovered in my lifetime, and I could be wrong, the bad boy thing, as they call it, the bad boy thing, that's what you're talking about. I don't think women like bad boys. I think women like toxic environments. I think a lot of time when I think about in my past, when I seen women who got with mostly men who were out there in the streets doing what they were doing, hustling, and I was actually that dude, to be honest with you, in my past. And what I noticed is most of those women come from homes filled with chaos. I mean, abusiveness, low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've noticed. Most women who are raised right or raised to actually see themselves as some kind of valuable, they don't really fool with them dudes. Now, there are some women who do that are raised that way, but they're naive. There's some women who are just naive, and you can tell them and you can sell them a bridge, just mac on them real good, and they're going to believe every word you're saying. But the majority of them women that go after those repeat offenders and keep getting caught up in it, they get on Facebook, say, free my boyfriend, Kevin. Yeah, he got all this shit and all this stuff. Usually come from bad backgrounds, man. You have, especially whore. I mean, there's some whores that you probably knew in school that was had extreme case of lasciviousness, meaning that they was extremely sexual. You run trains on them. Everybody in the football team done had sex with them. Those particular women that I've known always came from bad homes, man. Always. I never met one that didn't. Never. I mean, we'll run train on this woman, and then you find out her mama, her daddy, all how they are, and you say, damn, you live like that? I'm telling you, man, bad parenting would mess up your child.
Yeah. And let's not forget another reason why, some women, end up going, once they reach adulthood, going for those type of guys on a consistent basis is because I think about how you just talked about how some grow up with rough upbringings and childhoods. Some also may have gotten talked down upon amongst their mothers as well, may have been physically abused amongst their mothers on a regular basis, verbally abused amongst their mothers.
See, when a child is going through their formative years, when they're in the years where they're developing their personality, their outlooks on life like that, they lean the heaviest on their caregivers. If you love your mama and you as a mom was born, regardless of how she treated you, you would do everything you could to make her love you. You learn to be codependent on your mother. This is why you got a lot of these men who what we call are simps and they want to always please their woman because they need to be validated by their woman. They need to get her approval. They learn that sense of codependency from growing up with mothers like that. They really do. Codependency is taught. You don't wake up one day and say, look, I need someone to make me feel great, because no one taught you that you are precious already. That's what I believe.
So on that note, would you say that most guys that grow up in single mother households have a tendency of being more sensitive?
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, hell yeah, they do. But I know some dudes who were raised only by their father, and they extremely masculine, but they cool people, but you can't play with them boys. And now, don't get it wrong, some of you out there who are raised by a single mother. I'm not talking bad about you, but what I'm saying is, if you are raised by a single mother and your daddy wasn't around, you tend to have feminine qualities. Like the way you see things in life is still kind of feminine. You want to go to a woman's aid and protect the woman. You don't know what you see a man outside fighting a woman right now, and you can have a child with you in your own family. You'll run out there and try to keep that man from fighting that woman, beating on that woman. You don't know what that woman did to him. You don't know if she done gave him AIDS. You don't know if she done clean out his bank account. You don't know what done went on. And then that man you trying to turn around and shoot and kill you for trying to stop him from getting on her when you have your own family. That's not your protection is for your wife and your child and for yourself. If somebody whooping that woman ass, you need to call the police. That's what they get paid for. That's what they, and then you save them, try to help them, they get back together. That don't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's even been cases of when guys, you would see couples together, and it would be a guy right in the open, right in, it could be in a parking lot of a shopping center, may start physically assaulting a woman, his wife or girlfriend, only for another guy to intervene in it and break up the fight, right? But the woman still to stay with that same boyfriend or husband. That happens as well.
Yeah, I stay out of people's business, man. See, if you feminine, if you learn that from your mama and kind of beta mellish a little bit, you're gonna want to save every woman out there, like Will Smith said when he got out there, he slapped Chris Rock. I always felt that I have to protect women. That's because you're raised by your mama.
Right.
They put that in you. They don't mean it sometimes. I ain't saying they intentionally put that in you, but if you're not around a masculine man, you're gonna act feminine. You can be a successful man, raised by one. You can make $1 million a year and still have feminine quality because your daddy wasn't there. Fathers are important to a child. Hey, look at this. Look at the screen right quick, bro. I want you to see this shit right here. I just read this. Now, Bill, are you gonna get on here, man, or not, man? Before because when he leave, you can join the conversation with me and Derek, bro.
So I'm assuming how he called the guy his quote unquote dad, that was most likely either his mama boyfriend or his stepdad. How he put it in all quotation.
Yeah, he gonna have to get on here and explain that. Bill, you're gonna get on here and explain that, man. I already sent you the link. All you gotta do is go to your email and click the link, and I can add you to the conversation. If I'm reading this right, say I found that 67-year-old my mama cucked my dad. If that's what I'm thinking about, I'm thinking that if that's what I'm thinking it is, I'm too ignorant to know how to do that. That's somebody he wrote in there. If you talking about your mama made your daddy watch her get fucked by another man, because that's the only cuck I know, like cuck holding. Are you talking about? Because that's what I'm thinking about. You saying that your mama made your daddy watch your mama get dick from another man. Is that what you're saying? Because I want to make sure that's what you're saying, because that's the only terminology that I know with the word cucked.
Yeah, that probably would be what he may be insinuating.
Maybe.
But I thought about how somebody earlier said that Jada Pinkett is a prime example of somebody that may be a terrible mother. I agree, because look at what happened between her and August Alsina, how she was trifling enough to have sex with her son's friend, one of her son's friends. And that reminds me of how you mentioned how it's some single black mothers that are that trifling and would go that low to stooping as far as having sex, as low as having sex with their son's friends as well.
Yeah.
Happens all the time, like you said.
You make a real good point, man, because I didn't even think about that when I wrote that down. I did write it. All right, I'm going to add him to the stream with us, Derek. Hold on. He's about to join us. Hello, Mr. Bill. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Good Sunday.
All right. Me and Derek have a question for you, man. Can you explain the cuck thing? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. She screwed this guy when my brother was not even quite 2 yet. And I didn't find out and dig this, she actually paid for the DNA test.
Wow.
So, and then she's asked me, what about your dad's side? Well, I never told her, of course, that now I know he wasn't really my dad. Well, I got in contact. I've got brothers, sisters. All my brothers from my family are dead. Both my brothers are dead. And my dad's dead, thankfully. You know, I wouldn't want him to ever know this. And, you know, so I'm meeting all of them this summer. We're all hooking up in August over on the coast.
Well, Mr. Scherer, let me ask you a question, man. Because this is a wild story, brother. How did that make you feel?
That's not all of it either. There's more.
Oh,
you know?
wow. Damn.
So let me ask you this. You will have siblings with the same mama, but with different daddies, if I'm interpreting it right.
Yeah, the dad that raised me was not my biological father.
Okay.
My biological father fathered kids all over the place, starting in Eastern Washington, which is where I was born. And my older brother was born there too. And then what really creeped me out is I found out from my brothers that I just discovered that in 1959, when my little brother was born, we were living in Fresno, California. Well, that guy was down there for 2 years, 58 and 59. He was in Fresno.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I don't know, because my brothers have passed away. I have no way of knowing now. DNA wouldn't help. You can't get it. But yeah, I mean, I think the guy followed her down there. And then we turned around and moved right back up here in 62, the year of the World's Fair. Moved to Seattle and been here ever since.
Well, man, I'm sorry you went through that, man. You really making
It was a trip. I mean, we've always had a contentious relationship because she's always been toxic, especially about men. So I had to grow up with that. Well, here's the other hitch. I had 2 mentally handicapped brothers. My older brother and my younger brother are both severely mentally handicapped. And so I'm dealing with that too. And now I don't know, you know, why I'm the lucky one that came out not handicapped, you know, and I have no way until I meet my family, my new family, of knowing this stuff. And I'll find out more this summer.
damn.
Maybe he was the father of all 3 of us. I don't know. You know, there's no way of knowing.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Scherer. Do you think from 53 or you 67 right now? Do you think it's gotten?
I'll be 70 in a month.
Oh, happy early birthday. Let me ask you, do you think it's gotten worse? You think it's gotten worse when it comes to women now than it was back then?
You know, I think, since World War II, put it this way, I had a lot of friends that were a lot older than me. So when I was a young man in my 30s, I'm talking to guys in their 60s, my age, that were in World War II. And one of them was actually here while his brothers were in the war, and he had like 6 brothers. And he kept trying to go in early, and they wouldn't let him. Well, he's watching all these women back home, while all those guys are over there. And he said it was just an orgy most of the time. And then when the war ended for several years, this is why we have a baby boom more than anything, is he said the whole country went nuts. The partying was unbelievable. Everybody was screwing everybody like a box of hamsters. You know? I was getting this straight from the mouth of guys that were there. You know what I'm saying? So this tendency of women to do that's always been there. And I think it's probably always been right around that 30% mark that they're saying now. And just the guys that have been tested to see if they're the biological fathers. And that's 30%. What about all the ones that haven't been tested? So, yeah, you're probably right. I think it's a little worse now. But, man, it's all been there. Human nature is human nature.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Scherer and Derek. How often do you believe children are aware of how many sexual partners that their mother is having.
And these days and times,
Well, I
white
was
people, and then with social media, that much more. Social media, and for the most part, smartphones.
I agree. What about you, Sheriff? Mr. Bill Sheriff, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with him too. I think Derek's right. Yeah, I think Derek is right.
Yeah.
Because think about how it may.
Go ahead, y'all. I'm listening.
Yeah, think about how it may be a scenario when it may happen to be a kid that may be in the same house as his or her, either his or her mother, only to find out that she's right in the moment when a random guy or a strange guy in the house and happen to slightly open the door of the bedroom and pull out his or her phone. The kid may start recording it. All of a sudden, the whole sexual incident, only to post it on social media or, in the worst case scenario, Pornhub, something like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is going on. That is true, Derek. But I have one question on my mind. I got to ask Mr. Bill Sheriff right quick. I got to ask you because you're 67-year-old. You was around. You should be familiar with when Ronald Reagan signed into act of no fault divorce. You remember that? Hey, Ronald Reagan later on said that he made the worst mistake he did when he was in office. How do you feel about that? Were things different? Like when you had before no fault divorce, it was harder to get divorced, right? Now you can get no fault divorce, meaning you can leave for anything. It could be raining outside. You say, I want to leave my husband. Were women trying to be more feminine then?
I think it was terrible for men. Terrible.
It was terrible.
And I think it's
Mr. Bill Sheriff, your picture freezing up, sir.
I don't know why. Let me move.
Okay.
Sometimes I have bad spots in this house. Am I there now?
You may have to try to go to another room.
You might.
That's what I'm doing.
It's just a little bad connection. You moving now? I can see you now.
Yeah, I'm going upstairs because my sitting down here, she don't want to hear all this shit.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I gotta fix the light.
Okay. So, Mr. Bill, do you have kids or are you married?
Yeah, well, we're technically married for a lot of reasons, but we've been together over 30 years. And we don't have kids together. She has a son. He's now 36. And when I was married, I helped raise 2 kids for 10 years.
So
but I don't have any biological.
Okay. Well,
Pardon?
I'm not trying to shame you or anything on behalf of your mother, but due to her has, I guess you could say, mistakes that she made, did that allow you to want to be more of a better parent or step parent to your stepkids? To be able to.
Oh yeah, I love my nieces and nephews, buy them their bicycle, take them on trips. I was always a good uncle. I try to make up for a lot of the shit that I went through. I would never, and I picked a woman that was the exact opposite of my mother. Most people go out and pick your mom. Not me, brother.
I don't blame you on that. That's something else, bro. What you went through, but well, hold up, yeah. What you say?
I don't know if you've heard of. You ever coffee club?
His phone was breaking up.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, Sharon, you have a bad connection, brother.
I know. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah. What were you asking us?
Okay. But anyway, where was I at? Forgot my train of.
Yeah, Mr. Sharon,
Well,
your
another question. Happy. Breaking up again?
yeah, you kind of you might have to maybe next time you have to fix it or something. But it's kind of like you're going in and out. We can barely hear what you're saying. It's freezing and
Well-
stuff and everything.
Okay, how's it now?
Maybe you should try joining on a laptop or a desktop. Maybe
Yeah.
that just may help.
Well, I've got both. I got the last. So
It might just be the connection, man. It's like the
Go on
connection
your
is kind of
link.
bad.
Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. It's, you know what? My new phone comes tomorrow. This is an old iPhone, and I've been having
That's okay.
issues with it.
It's okay.
So
I've been
I
having
gotta
trouble with my stuff too,
tomorrow.
man. Yeah,
It
I've been
happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I
they
was with you
do.
last weekend.
Yeah, it happens. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I'm gonna get y'all. Gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live stream. I got some other things I got to go do. I'll try to make up for the last one I missed while doing that. But I appreciate both of y'all, and you too, Mr. Bill Sherrod. Thank you for joining the live stream.
I'll get my
All right.
laptop set up for next week. I'll talk to you guys next week. A lot more
All
of
right.
the story.
I can imagine.
Okay.
All right, you have a good one. You have a good day, Mr. Bill, Sharon. All right, Derek,
Mhm.
you there? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining too, man. I have to get ready to go and stuff like that. I try to, last Sunday I couldn't get this going, but
Oh, okay, I understand.
yeah.
I have to tend to some other stuff later on today. Well, tonight, might as well say myself.
Oh, also everybody, check out his Cap Socials Network. Yeah, that's what Cap Social Network.
Yeah, the handle, by the way, the handle will be at Capri Social Network 1261. And in case you wanted me to leave it in the chat, I will be glad to do so as of now.
Yeah, put in there right now. I can put it up there for before I cut it out so people can get a glimpse at it.
Okay.
Yep. Thanks everybody who joined. I appreciate y'all. You send it?
I just did.
Let's see. Oh, you sent it to the. You got to put it in the comments, brother, because you sent it to the private chat, so only I can see that. When you send it to a private chat, only I can read that.
Okay, because right now I'm talking to you through StreamYard, so I could just exit out of StreamYard and then rejoin you on YouTube before you end a session.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do it right quick, and I'll put it up there.
Okay.
And I'll have to shut it down. Well, everybody, thank y'all for joining. I don't know who failed, what they even mean. Monkey, I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult or not. You know what I mean? If you are trying to insult somebody, be a man or be a real woman and say it to the top dog, and I'll put your ass in your place right now. Real talk. You can get on the stream and I'll pull you apart. Usually I don't deal with you trolls. I don't know if you're a troll or not. That's one thing. I don't speak emoji. The other person asked me where I'm at in Sugarland. Sugarland's on the outskirts of Houston as well. I can't pronounce your name. You can email me if you want some more information. Let's see. There it is. This is Cap Social Network handle right there. Check them out. Encourage them. Hit the like button, subscribe and stuff. Give them fresh ideas or whatnot. Let me see. Is this somebody just? Oh, yeah, I got to get going. That's what that is. All right. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. Subtitle would be nice. Some people don't know how to speak gorilla. Oh, it is a troll. Everybody, look at this troll. Subtitle would be nice. Some people don't know how to speak gorilla. Your mama speaking pretty good, though. When you beating that mama up from the back, she go, ooh, 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 ooh. Motherfucker.